This is a picture of my baby in his first month. I hope you enjoy the video. Hi there, so this video is going to be all about my experiences throughout the first month of having my newborn. The aim of this video is to share with you how I coached throughout the first month, things that I found challenging, things that I learned along the way, handy tips hopefully, and just things that we bought that weren't that useful for me, things that we bought that were really useful. So firstly, I want to talk about when we got him home from hospital. When we got him home from hospital, I think it was just a massive shock to the system. Because in hospital, you're surrounded by nurses, you're surrounded by family and friends, so you got so much support and you feel quite calm because you know if anything happens, there's so many people around you. So when we got him home, it was just me and my partner and this tiny little baby that you've got to look after. You love him so much and you just want to make sure everything's perfect. So I think the first night and the first few weeks were the most challenging for me anyway, because the baby's getting used to the surroundings, you're getting used to a whole new way of life, you're feeding constantly, you're not getting much sleep. So at the same time it's just all amazing, it's very surreal and overwhelming, but at the same time it's quite terrifying because it's just, you've never had to look after a tiny little human before. So I think the first thing that scared me was when he would do a poo, but he would strain trying to do a poo and he would cry, he would get so worked up. And we went to the doctors, they said it was all okay. I even asked the health visitor, she said it's just something babies do. I even looked on YouTube for a bit of support and a bit of help, and they talked about if baby's constipated to do cycle legs, just turning the baby's legs just gently, rubbing baby's stomach gently. And I wasn't too sure if he was constipated, but it just calmed him down anyway, so that just gave me peace of mind that my baby felt a little bit better. So I'd say to anyone, if you've got any worries, go to the doctors, ask your health visitor, that's what they're there for. And it's just, even if you think it's silly, it's not silly, because it's to do with your baby, and if you've got peace of mind, that's something that's so important. And also, what I found really useful was to prop a pillow underneath your arm and underneath the baby's head, because it stops your arm from aching and it supports your baby's head as well, because your baby does sleep on you a lot and you want them to sleep on you. So both being comfortable, that's really important. And I want to share with you next things that I struggled with, that I didn't think I would struggle with, and I felt a bit like disappointed in myself that it didn't come to me more naturally, was the whole bathing process. I thought that's just something that you just would know straight away, but I was not a natural at all. My baby hated the bath, which made it even harder. He would cry, he would strain, he would wriggle, and you feel quite bad because he's crying so much, so you don't want to bath him, but you know you're doing the best thing for the baby. So I'm going to be totally honest, in the first month I didn't bath him by myself. I had to get support from my partner to do it because I didn't feel comfortable. So I'd say anything, if you don't feel comfortable doing something, don't feel ashamed. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Just ask someone for help. That's, in time you'll learn and it will come to you, but you might learn really quickly, you might learn a little bit slower, but that doesn't make you any less of an amazing mum. So what I did learn with the whole bathing was, which helped me anyway, because he wriggled and tensed so much, I couldn't clean him properly. So once I got him out of the bath and onto his towel, I would clean under his folds, because it's really important to get into all the folds. So I cleaned under his neck, under his arms, under his back of legs, because if you don't, it's just, they get a bit smelly. So he was calmer, so I could actually get into all these little folds. So that was it helped me anyway, it was really useful. And then the next thing that I thought came naturally to mums, but it didn't come naturally to me, was burping a baby. Because I didn't feel comfortable holding him, being stood up. I found it more comfortable just being sat down. But this is something, again, that in time you learn, and it's fine, because now I'm comfortable holding him and I'm comfortable burping him. But what I found useful at the beginning was just to sit him up and rub his back gently, and you might hear my baby in. He's on the floor on a play mat playing around at the moment while Mummy's doing her video, but he's very happy. And then so that's the one thing I found quite useful for burping in the first month, because I just found it a lot easier than putting him over my shoulder, because I just didn't feel comfortable. Because if you're not comfortable with it, your baby's not comfortable, so there's just no point. Yeah, and the next thing I want to talk about is we bought a changing mat. There was like a fabric changing mat, and it had detachable flannel panels. And then so once your baby is on the changing mat, it's obviously poos and wees on it, so then you've got to wash it. And once you've dried it, your baby's obviously, we've had to use the changing mat again. So the changing mat got so dirty, we had to chuck it out. So the one thing we use all the time was this wipeable one I got in a baby bag. So I just wish from the start we just bought a wipeable changing mat, and they're so much cheaper as well, so I recommend that. And then the one thing that we bought that is the best buy ever, he uses it every single day and he loves it, is his play mat. When he's little, he would just lay on it, and he would know he's safe on the play mat, so you could actually get stuff done. And now he's a little bit older, he wriggles about on it. It's really good to do tummy time, and it grows with your baby, so you can add toys to it in the end when they're a little bit older again. So for me, it was just like money well spent. Really, really good. And the next thing I would really love to talk about is breastfeeding. Because breastfeeding for me wasn't that hard, because I know some women really struggle with it, but it was, at the beginning your nipples are sore, and it's a new thing, so your body's getting used to it. But then in a few weeks, my nipples weren't as sore, and now they're not sore at all. But what I did do about a few weeks in, I tried to express. I just bought a manual one, but because I was so early on, my milk wasn't fully in, so I found it quite difficult to express, so it put me off expressing. So I'd say, if you want to express, just wait for I would say the first month, then express. Because once you've expressed, it's amazing, because you can express, you can pass your baby over to your partner, they can feed him, so it just gives you a little bit of you time. And you time is so important, because if you feel good, your baby feels good, and you are still important. You need to keep your mental health healthy. It's good to have some time to yourself. Just go for a walk. Walking with my baby is like one of the best things. I love it. I just feel free. It just gives me time to get out of the house. But back to breastfeeding anyway. And then I would say it's just good, because even if you and your partner wanted to go out for a night, you can hand them over to a family member, and then you and your partner can have a couple of hours to yourself. So yeah, I think expressing is so useful. So I do recommend it, but I would say do it maybe after the first month, when your milk's come fully in. And the one other thing I really want to talk about is just keeping yourself healthy, but keeping your head healthy. So just like I said, read in the first video, just read a book. Even just record your thoughts. It's so important. You can then look back at your thoughts. And then, like I said before, just taking a walk. Walking is so good for you. It just releases all the tension, just being in the house. So yeah, just your well-being is very important. So just remember that. And that's it really for the video. But I hope you've learned something. I hope there's some little handy tips in there. And I'm gonna keep doing videos, so showing you more of our journey. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Please please share, please subscribe, and have a lovely day. And thank you again.